All right, so here we are, creeping up on December, so it's time to put the boat away. So there'll be a little break in boat videos. Um, but I've got another project to do over the winter. So here we are in the RV, and we're looking at the dinette right now. Your typical dinette with the table and opposing chairs. And, um, well, I don't like it. I don't like the dinette. We don't really use it that much. So we're going to pull this out, and we've got 72 inches. So we're going to put theater seats there instead, and we're going to take that TV, and we're going to pull this jackknife sofa out and put in a cabinet where the TV sits inside and raises up, and then we'll have an electric fireplace on the front. So this completely goes. This completely goes. This gets replaced by theater seats. And that gets replaced by TV and fireplace. The other thing we have to do is, I don't know why, but under the seat is our fresh water tank, literally sitting on top of the floor. So we have to pull that tank, and luckily there's a pass-through in the storage compartment underneath where I can fit another tank in. So I've ordered the tank, I've ordered the seat, I've ordered the mechanism to raise and lower the TV, and then I have to build the cabinet for that. So that'll be a fun project. I actually can't wait, because that's going to give us more room when the slide's in and we're traveling down the road. We'll have more room here, more room here. We'll be able to put the dog beds in front of the fireplace, so we'll have a nice cozy place to lay. And we won't have this narrow walkway for when we're in travel mode. So look for those videos coming up. That'll be a fun project. Okay, so we just got back from probably our last camping trip of the season, and so it's time to start taking things apart. First thing to come out is going to be the dinette. I'm going to start with the table. Get that side, get this side. This side's going to be harder because it's got some stuff inside, electrical connections, and also there's an outlet and the CO sensor that I have to pull out. Probably relocate to here. But yeah, hopefully I don't find any nasty surprises under there. I know there's going to be some holes in the wall, but when we put the new sofa back here, it should cover them up. If not, we'll do something, maybe re-wallpaper this whole thing. Well, this happened. Man. So I knew that was a mess of wires under there, but God, that looks terrible. The quality that they put into these RVs is non-existent. I mean, who does that? So, hopefully, well, my hope is I can clean this up a little bit, tuck it back. I gotta find out if there's room in there to feed some of these wires in, and I don't know if the new sofa can sit there or if it's got enough room, empty space on the bottom for any of that stuff. Otherwise, it's all got to go into the cabinet. The only thing that can't is the CO detector, which I'm going to move to over here. That outlet there, I am probably going to put here, because there's an outlet built into the sofa or the theater seating that I got. So I'm going to have to plug it in somewhere, and it seems like a good spot. And I need to pull these seatbelt brackets. I don't know if I can use these same ones. And just kind of turn it, relocate it, and stuff it right there. So there's going to be a seatbelt there, seatbelt there. No seatbelt in the middle. Not too concerned with the holes in the wall. I'll cover them or do something, make it look better. And on the slide out, of course, they only put a piece of metal trim on the visible spot, so now I've got these exposed edges that I need to handle, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. And then of course this trim that runs down, why put it all the way to the floor when you don't need to, I suppose. So they cut it and just anchored the back of the dinette seat there. So I probably want to replace this. Is it going to match? No. But they didn't even route that. Of course not. Why would they? No seam tape for the edge. Floor is stapled on the edges. Of course it's not visible, so do they care? Nope. What have I done? Now I gotta pull the TV down too. Alright, so here's a good view of the water tank that we're gonna have to pull. It lives underneath the jackknife. Suppose it's I guess it's a place to store it. So it's a 50-gallon water tank, or 49-gallon. And what we're gonna do is get a flat tank to sit in there in the pass-through. This is the drain. This is the supply here. So, I mean, all the plumbing's there. Makes sense just to move it. Just got to get the parts. Whoa, that was quick. Well, there's the tank. So a few days later, I ordered the tank already, and we're gonna see if this will fit. I may need to take that frame off just to slide it through, but we'll see. Yeah, so I suspected as much. If I take the door frame out, that will fit, which I kind of already knew I would need to do anyhow. It'll tuck right up in there. We'll hook the plumbing right up to it. It's got these for the water level sensors. I will kind of shim the back end of it so the water, kind of is tilted this way, so the water will always drain to this low spot. Cool. So I got this off Amazon from, I guess, Rec Pro. Delivered in like 2 days, 3 days, which I'm kind of impressed with. And the TV up and down thing should be coming today. I'll get a video of that. And I've got the sofa on order. It should be coming next week. So we're actually going to get to it pretty quick. Get it done. So the TV mechanism has arrived, and pleasantly surprised. It's a little more robust than I thought it would be. It's actually pretty heavy. Provisions for mounting on the floor, mounting to the cabinet. So when this is in the RV, it'll be nice and secure. It won't move around. The TV will mount to here. Here's some extra hardware, or additional hardware. That goes on there. That goes on there. And so when I'll have this in a cabinet, I'll have the countertop mounted here. So when it goes down, the countertop will be flush. TV will be mounted here. It's got up and down limits that you can set. It's actually a little faster than I thought it would be. I saw the videos and it looked really slow, but this isn't too bad. Remote. So that'll work out quite nice. Now I just need to wait for the sofa to arrive and start pulling everything out of the camper, building the cabinet, and enjoying. So delivery issue resolved. The guy went back to his first stop and swapped out the stuff. Got my stuff, dropped off their stuff. But anyhow, I ordered from shopforseats.com, and that was just last week, and they're here already, so I'm pretty impressed. Can't wait to open this up and take a look and see what we got. Alright, so here's one section. Feels alright. I'm sure there's some lines in their fake leather. I'm sure those are just from being wrapped tight. They'll go away. Feels pretty sturdy. Like the removable tray, which is nice. For seat belts, we have to leave that undone. There's maybe come up with an anchor system. Put the anchors here on the floor. Looks like there's probably room underneath for the wires. This obviously is the other side, but I should be able to tuck everything under here, mount it to the floor, up and out of the way. So that way I don't have to mess with feeding all that stuff into the cabinet. And should be able to mount these to the floor fairly easily. Let's see. Yeah, looks good. So the feel, it's not like textured like you would expect leather to be textured, which is kind of throwing me off a little bit. It's very smooth. I mean, it feels good and heavy quality or heavy duty, and I've seen another guy did a YouTube review of like 2 years later, and everything looked like it was holding up just fine. And some spots there might just need to be cleaned off. Arm's a little flimsy, but that's going to be against the slide wall anyhow. We're not sitting on the arm. Mechanism looks okay. Kind of what you would expect. Not too crazy about these screws just being all crooked in there. But I guess they couldn't get their tool straight up and down, so they had to go in diagonally. Alright. Unbox the other ones. Oh wait, no. I have a meeting to go to, so I'll unbox them later. Alright, unboxed all the sofa pieces. Everything looks pretty good. Sat on it, super comfortable. Really impressed with that. I love these swivel tables. They just pop right up. With one for each side. And then I got the add-on cell phone holder. It's a little wobbly, so I think I know this pin is removable. So maybe I'll machine a thicker one that fits better. All in all, that's what's going in where the dinette was. There's the new water tank. There's the old dinette. And yep. Alrighty, so we've got the dinette out. No big surprises over here. Got some wires to tidy up. We're going to keep that junction box where it's at. It's going to be, I think it's secured to the floor already. But anyhow, it's going to sit right underneath the recliners. There's plenty of clearance there, so I'm not worried about that. That electrical outlet is going to get relocated over here, and the sofa's going to plug into it. It's got USB ports in it. And then we're going to take the O2 sensor. No, O2 sensor. The CO sensor. And probably mount it down here. It's got to be low, and then it's got to be in an open area. So I'll figure that out. Then over here where the jackknife was, we've exposed the water tank. No big surprises here other than, oh gee, that's where they put the supply line. Wasn't expecting that, but we'll work through it. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet. May fix the floor, so I could scavenge some linoleum from over there and just cut it along the fake seams and then fill that and then replace it, or something else, put like a flush mount outlet there. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Not too worried about it. And there's our water level sensors. The drain is on the other side, fill and vents over there. So right now I've got this tilted up so all the water can drain out. Funny thing is if you're laying flat and you have this a 50-gallon tank, if you're laying flat, the water pickup is right here. So you've got maybe an inch of water across this whole thing that you could never get to. I haven't measured it, so I don't know how many gallons that equates to, but it's got to be at least, I'm guessing maybe at least 5. So my new tank is 39 gallons, so it's 11 gallons fewer than this. I should probably measure this and find out exactly how many gallons I wouldn't have access to. And that'll make me feel better about having a little bit smaller tank. Anyhow, I've got it tilted up so all the water is draining that way. And out here there's still, I think there's still a little bit in there. Maybe not. Maybe it's all out. Anyhow, once that gets all drained, I'll finish unhooking everything. Get the tank out of here. Get these seat belts out. Start pulling this thing apart. So it can be rebuilt and replaced. So behind here is the outdoor TV. Obviously on the other side. And I'm not going to reuse any of this, so that's obviously not attached, and I'm not going to feel bad ripping this apart. Not bad at all. Matter of fact, I kind of want to do it right now, but it's late, so I better not. Yeah, so on our way. All right, I have no self-control. I couldn't help it. I had to pull something out. All right. Yeah, there's our drain. This is coax. This is power. Voltage. So that was held on by a screw there, and probably maybe 1, 2 at the most more. We'll just cut this bead of caulk, pop that off, bin it, toss it in the trash. So this was covered under warranty. If we notice this style side, it's got some warping. It got wet. We filed a claim when it was new to get these replaced. They agreed, and they actually sent the parts not too long ago, maybe like a week or two ago. But we had already decided that we were going to take this all apart. So I told them to forget about it. Don't worry about it. We got it covered. Man, really, I think I'll probably redo this frame too. I mean, do I want to be that perfectionist? Do I want it to last? Well, actually, I don't need to redo the frame. I'll take all the frame out. I'm just going to build this out of proper lumber. Yeah, so come out like that. TV up and down, fireplace, yay. Okay, again, I can't leave well enough alone. Pulled the tank, and man, am I glad we are doing this. I found all kinds of rust spots underneath it. I'm guessing they were metal shavings that rusted. Also, the supply, the water in hose was cracked at the barb, and the drain. What'd I do with it? Where'd it go? Haha. I went underneath and I cut the drain, but I didn't need to because it wasn't even glued in. It wasn't glued in. It was just like that. Not glued. Cool. Well, check your campers, people. Check your campers. Okay, so a little discovery here. Like I had mentioned when we bought this, these stiles had some water damage, and we assumed it was humidity or somebody left a door open or something. But I think with the drain not even glued in, this had a tear in it, and I kid you not, not touch that with the tool. Literally like that. Wow. Okay. All right. Yep. I should be inside in bed. I found real plywood. Oh my God. So that's the back of the outdoor TV cabinet. Kind of surprised to find that thick of plywood. It's got to be at least 3/4, 5/8, 1 inch. 1 inch. I have a tape measure around here somewhere. Let's see. Actually, I have 2 in there. All right. It is 3/4. 3/4. Okay. This is going. I thought, oh, I'll keep that frame. No, I'm not. I ain't keeping it. All right, so one more thing. I am pretty sure that these seatbelts need to be secured with a jam nut or a locking nut and not just a single nut on a carriage bolt like you see here. The other side had that. Hey, look, trash. Just throw trash in a spot where nobody can see it. The other side had locking nuts. This side, no locking nuts. Folks, so I've got more stuff removed, starting to clean things up. Just wanted to point out something here. That brand new $150,000 Class A RV, sure, it's kind of an entry-level one, but still, for 150 grand, I would think they could clean up the sawdust. You know, it doesn't take much to clean up after yourself in a work spot. But what do I know? I'm the idiot that bought it. So carry on and move forward. Okay, in typical fashion, here I am starting another phase of the project before I finished the previous one. Because why would I? So I got the new sofa in here and I laid it out. Looks like everything's going to fit. I've got to drill some holes, do some mounts, mount the sofa, put in a new outlet, all that jazz. Fun stuff. And then the new stovetop came. So I'm going to pull that out, pull the oven out, and because we don't use the oven, it's just storage, and use the space below for storage. And replace that with a convection microwave. Okay, so that was pretty easy. Just unhook a propane line and 12 volts. 12 volts being for the lights. And that gave me a huge amount of storage. So the plan is I'll build a beauty frame around this, and I don't know if I'm going to put a door or just leave it open. But I know this, I'm going to take this face off and put a regular door face or drawer face on there, and maybe do something to match here. Probably some doors, because you don't want stuff rolling out of there when we're driving. And I'll put some type of back on there so we don't interfere with the propane or the 12 volts when we're stuffing stuff in there. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to build a shell to go in there because that's not going to support any weight. Yeah, so I'm pretty convinced that all of my great ideas to make this better are probably stupid or bad ideas, because they just end up making way more work for myself. You know, replacing this with the cooktop, getting rid of the oven, sure, you get more storage, but now I got to build a whole thing to go in there and do a whole thing with that, and then I'm going to have mismatched door faces, and I'm probably going to end up replacing all these door faces. I mean, this is just, you know, not even builder grade stuff, it's RV grade stuff. And then of course over here, bright idea, let's replace this dinette with the sofa and move everything from one side to the other. And oh no, there's a big water tank there with a hole in the middle of the floor. What are you gonna do? Just roll with it. Folks, don't do this.